As is the case with a lot of the songs on A Wizard or True Star, Does Anybody Love You has no intro. And that is precisely because of the symphonic nature of the album, going from one track to the next in a continuous flow of sound. And the album features a lot of contrast, jumping from one track to the next. The track immediately before Does Anybody Love You is called Sometimes I Don't Know What to Feel, which is a rather dark, melancholy song about existential crises. And it ends on this grandiose, loud chord, and then immediately jumping into this trifle of a song, this lighthearted, shorter song, provides an excellent contrast, which helps keep listeners on their toes, which is one of Todd's trademarks. Talk, you can talk, but if you ask me, take all big words and put them together, what could we... Now, a lesser composer probably wouldn't even be able to fully write a song like this. They'd probably start out with a standard D major chord. Talk, you can... They wouldn't even hit the A in the melody there. You can talk. And then from there, trying to go to, but if you ask me, take all your big words, and all of a sudden jumping to that bass line, that's outside the range of three-chord rock. You know, that immediately takes it out of bounds for the vast majority of songwriters. So Todd is already tonicizing different keys within one song. And I'll get into that in a later segment about modulations and tonicization. But here, what we have is starting on a compound chord, a hybrid chord. Compound chord and hybrid chord are synonymous terms. And that's a seventh chord, going to another seventh chord, and all of a sudden we jump to a different key. We tonicize a different key. And then we manage to get back to an E minor, which is the 2 chord in the key of D, which is the key we're in. And we're doing 2, 5, 1, but instead of back to a regular tonic again, it is this hybrid chord we keep returning to that's essentially the anchor of the composition. And the ornamented chord there, instead of just going to a 5, we have this cluster of notes. We have G flat, A flat, and B over A. Sounds kind of cacophonous in that spacing, but works in that spacing. So you can start to see why I talk about Todd Rundgren in the same category, in the same breath as Claude Debussy. They're using similar techniques to go outside the bounds of traditional harmony and using all kinds of new notes and chords that don't get used every day. So in Does Anybody Love You, we get to the title phrase. Does anybody love you? Do you think that anybody's in love with you? So there we have seventh chords. Again, seventh chords have been used in numerous places, but it's after that modulation, the tonicization in the middle of the verse that we come back to the tonic, where we have seventh chords leading to the 2-5-1, leading back to our anchor chord here. So then we get to the B section, where we go to a descending minor diatonic seventh pattern with "You're so lovely, so wise, you could make Venus crawl." We have a little straying outside of our standard tonic there with that beautiful C major 9 chord, and then between the ugly. We have what's called a deceptive cadence there, where our ears expect it to be something like that, or that's within the key, going to an E minor 7 there. Instead, it's... So whenever a chord occurs that is not within the key, that's a modal shift compared to what's in the key. That's called a deceptive cadence. So there we have deceptive cadence and then a modal shift back into the key. And then we conclude with the title phrase again, which we had in both the verses. And there you have Does Anybody Love You, where the anchor chord is a compound chord, and the conclusion of the whole song when we have is anybody in love with you? Three compound chords in a row. Let's say again, C over D, and then a B over D, and then we come back to the A over D, that's our anchor chord.